Let's talk about Lyft. We're still waiting for the first trade. We haven't got it yet. It's going out at $72 a share. We don't know what the opening price is actually. As soon as we get it, you'll get it too, and that's a promise. Ryan Payne, president of Payne Capital Management, is with us now. I don't think you're the kind of guy, you're the kind of investor who would buy on day one, are you?
Am I that guy?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Well, look, a lot of people would like to get in early.
Sure.
The earlier the better, because they think that these kind of stocks will zoom at some point.
And they could. It's kind of like flip a coin, right? On the initial public offering, unless you got in before the IPO, really it's just a crapshoot on that first day. And typically you want to wait for the stock to settle down before you make a decision.
Would you consider buying a company like Lyft 6 months from now?
I mean, I'm not a gambler, but I have to say they have momentum at their back right now. They have like 40% of the car sharing industry right now, which last year they only had, or they went up 17% from last year. So they're really starting to chew into Uber's dominance in the industry. And I think that's a big deal. Like, they are doing a great job on the marketing and bringing people to their side.
Well, you're a young guy.
Thank you.
Not quite a millennial, as I understand. You're right on the edge there.
Yes.
But a lot of millennials actually work for you in your company. Is that the explanation for this excitement around Lyft and Uber and Airbnb? Youngsters want into this gig economy.
I think they want in, and I also see the potential for it, right? I mean, at this point, I think only like 1% of all driving was with a car-sharing service last year. So basically, the room for growth there is tremendous.
Hold on a second, Ryan. I'm getting some indication that the first trade on Lyft will be $85 to $90 per share.
Wow.
Okay, 72 is the offering price, not the opening price, the offering price. Going out at 72, indication of 85 to 90 being the first trade. No surprise, really.
My words must have resonated.
Well done, Ryan. You think you've got that kind of power? Get out of here, Payne. Get out of here. But that's not quite the pop that I was
thinking. Well, it's 20% basically from 72 to 85. That's pretty good.
You know, I think the question for Lyft and for Uber, will investors be willing to pay for a company that has a lot of sales but is not yet profitable? I mean, we have to say it. These companies are not profitable. Sure. So it is buzzy. It is how everybody gets around in big cities. But longer term, I'm very old-fashioned, but I like to see some profitability.
I know what you mean, but they're not there yet.
But we'd like to see them make money.
Can they? When will they make money? That's the question, is it? When are you going to make some money?
And I think a lot has to do with, are the drivers contractors? Are they employees? Both companies are still working that out. That's a huge cost if they end up all being employees.
So having listened to all of this, 6 months down the road, you're going to buy it?
I think, all those points are good, and I think they're losing like $1 billion this year, which is crazy. I think it's years before profitability. But I think we have to think about is the momentum trade right now. So I think it's actually going to do well in the short term just because they're going to keep taking market share, and that's what the street's going to care about.
And to your point, I do want to say, I'll contradict myself and say that this offering was something like 60% above, if you value it at $21 billion. That's 60% above its last private valuation. So whether we're right or wrong doesn't matter. The market seems enthusiastic about it.
You got me.
Exactly.
Okay, you got me. I mean, I was expecting a bigger pop. Well, it's still a nice pop. If it's $85 to $90 per share. Let me just tell you this. Some early investors in Lyft will walk away today with a ton of money. Now, here's a company that I'm not familiar with, Rakuten. You know them, the Japanese Amazon?
They're the Amazon of Japan, yes.
At $72 a share, their stake is worth $2.3 billion.
Yeah,
that's interesting. General Motors put $500 million in 2016 at $72 a share. They've got $1.3 billion in Lyft. $800 million profit. That's not bad, I would say.
I'd say.
Let's not forget Valerie Jarrett. I believe she's on the board.
That's right.
And she's a good friend of the Obamas.
She did well.
She's done well. Her stake, so to speak, is at $72 is worth $478,000. So she's done well. And the co-founders, there's two of them. Logan Green at $72. He comes into $602 million, and John Zimmer at $72 comes in at $415 million a share. Where are you?
Didn't you get in?
What's wrong with you?
I was waiting for the call. It just never came. It's worried my life.
Stay on the show, son, and maybe you'll get the call for Uber to get in. You never know. You never know. You never know. Joe, thank you very much indeed to you. Ryan, thank you. Now this.